Hey guys, it's Ruby and welcome back to the YouTube channel, and I am back here again with Mia and we are at Classic Dressage. We're going to be doing a photo shoot for Julia Hornig, my godmother, who owns the Classic Dressage shop, and we thought it's a really good time to also do a Q&A. So we've put a poll up on Instagram for you guys to ask all your questions, and then we're going to answer it today.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Why are you jumping so high?
So some of you guys actually might be wondering, who is Mia? Or you've actually heard of her name but never really put a face to the name.
Yeah.
So Mia is the editor behind all the YouTube videos, and one of the first questions from Polly is, how did we meet?
Well, me and Ruby went to school together for starters, and then we were like friends during school, and then we got really close in year 11. And then when we left school, Ruby in December asked me to come to the International Horse Show with her, just as a random little trip. And then all of a sudden I'm roped into filming them, going around stands, and Ruby on the live lounge. And then she was chucking crazy ideas at me in the car. And then all of a sudden, like maybe a couple weeks later, Ruby messaged me and was like, how do you think starting a YouTube channel sounds? I was like, don't know about that one. And yeah, it's crazy.
But it's always been, a big dream of mine to start a YouTube channel. And my mum has always, absolutely refused to edit it because, it's really, really time consuming. And we were just, really brainstorming one day in the car, and we thought, you know what, Mia did such a good job in London. Why don't we ask her? She can always say no. And somehow Mia agreed, and it's just where we are today. So a follow-up question from Susie is, did you have any editing experience before you started the YouTube channel?
No, I did not. It's been absolutely terrifying because I started with only my IT GCSE, which let's just say hasn't really helped. So it's been kind of a learn as we go kind of thing, really. And yeah, no.
Because also then Susie asked, have you had any hiccups along the way?
Oh yes, if you look back at our first videos, you'll probably notice some glitching. It's kind of a problem. So we were on the phone to Canon because that's where our camera's from, and we were like trying to get them to try and figure it all out, and they couldn't. And I was thinking, it's a problem with the camera, and it wasn't. And I ended up figuring it out, bit of trial and error. It took us a long time, and it was very frustrating, but
it's almost every video that we do, we're learning about different lighting, everything with the mics and stuff, and it's definitely like, because you're learning, but then also me and my mum are learning, and it's just, it's a bit of a team effort, really.
It is a team effort. So the first question for Ruby is, do you yourself own any horses, or do you just have owners? And that was from Phoebe and Eric.
So the only horse that I actually own is Nalina, and we got her when I was about 14 years old and she was 3. But apart from that, all my other horses are owned by owners. I've been very, very, very lucky that throughout my career I've had amazing, really supportive owners who have just been with me every step of the journey, really.
Talking about supportive owners, we get to Claire, and Carmen's asked, how did you get to know Claire and Cracker?
So it's actually a really, really funny story. So Claire is based at Broms and Stud, which is about 15 minutes away from my yard, and that's of course where Cracker is. And the previous rider of Cracker was called Virginie, and she used to come for lessons all the time with my dad, so I was always in awe of Cracker. I've been watching him for so many years. But unfortunately, Virginie's road went a different way, so she moved actually to a different country, and Claire was looking for a new rider for Cracker, and it was meant to be, really.
Kit Kat asked, how is Cracker doing?
So Cracker's obviously just still in his rehabilitation process. It's been a few weeks now since the injury, and the vet has seen him again 2 weeks in. And we're just really taking his time with him. He's going to obviously have a really long time off. It's a long road of recovery. But but you know what, he will come back. It is an injury that he can come back from, so he will be ridden again, but we're going to make sure to almost give him too much time off, because we want to make sure that the injury is perfectly healed. We just want to give him extra time, just to really let him just build up that strength again and be perfect and ready to go.
So the next question is from Izzy, and she said, how do you go to all your competitions with being at school?
So I actually go to a public school, which I don't think many people would expect, considering I miss so much school to ride and compete. But I'm really, really incredibly lucky that my school actually lets me, you know, take time out to be able to go to training, be able to go to competitions, which is a massive helping aid to, you know, being where I am today. And as long as I catch up with the work at home, they're absolutely fine. So I, through all my GCSEs and stuff, I actually did loads and loads of tutoring, because I had a little bit of time, like, you know, things like maths and stuff where I struggle. So I did loads and loads of tutoring, and that helps me catch up. So yeah.
Rachel's asked, which company insures you to drive the 3.5-ton lorry?
Howden's Insurance.
Louise has said, how do you get a young horse quicker off the A's?
I feel like this is a really basic answer, but literally transitions, and more transitions. You can actually never do too many. They might be the most boring thing in the world, but keep going.
Flamina said, would you do a YouTube series where you go ride subscribers' horses?
I'd actually love that. And I also think with riding, it's so good to be able to ride as many different horses as you can. So I think that'd be so much fun.
It would be so
I think it'd be really good.
Kira's asked, do you warm yourself before you ride, like stretching and mobility? You sit so beautifully.
Thank you very much. I'm actually the type of person who probably rolls out of bed 5 minutes before I'm supposed to get on the horse. But I do PT training sessions on the side, that's personal training sessions with strength and conditioning and stuff, which definitely helps. Work those abs. But yeah, no, I don't actually really do anything before my riding, but in between and stuff, the gym definitely helps.
Francesca's asked, if you could ride any horse in the world, who would it be?
Do you know what? Glamourdale. I mean, that horse is a freak of nature. His canter, you'd have like whiplash, it goes so fast. But I think that'd be amazing. His extended trot, just everything looks absolutely phenomenal. And then a horse from the past, I mean, I rode him when I was 10 years old, which was incredible for leg growth, but now I know a bit more. It'd be nice to sit on him again. Oh my darling, you haven't changed a bit, have you? Bazza, hi. So while we're at Classic, we thought we'd go visit my old children on horses horse, Barry. He was a very special horse, and he taught me so much from a really young age. He had the biggest character, and he wasn't the easiest ride, so he taught me so much. But it's so nice to see him. I haven't seen him in a little while. He's living his best life in retirement. Aren't you, little old man? Yes, you are. Mwah.
Right, Grace has said, advice for someone that wants to get better at dressage or even exercises.
I would say, I'd say definitely working off the horses is really important. You know, my personal training sessions help loads, going to the gym and stuff, just so I'm strong enough. It sounds really silly, but I actually think doing the sport vaulting really helps me for my core and stuff and my balance. And that gave me so many tools for my riding and stuff. And I think just taking your time, you know, the only way you learn is by having a go. So I just think take your time, keep going, watch loads of training videos, go for as many lessons as you can and get as much advice as you can from as many people as you can.
Amazing. And then Kelly said, best way to get into dressage, my daughter is 7, she wants to be just like Ruby.
Oh, thank you. I think the best thing you can do is find a good coach. I think a good coach will really mentor you, you know, along the way and really help you choose the route you want to take, the path you want to take, and help you get involved.
100%. And Sarah's asked, if you had unlimited money, what would be the first thing you would buy?
I just think I'd buy more horses. Oh, actually, I've heard to get a canter track put in. I love canter tracks because I just want to go for a hack on a loose rein with one hand and just going around the canter track. And I think it'd be really fun because obviously, you know, in the fields and stuff, the ground gets a bit hard, so you can't always canter. So a canter track, I'd just be doing zoomies all day. Who cares about dressage? We can do zoomies around a canter track.
Clara's asked, what's your go-to snack at a show?
Oh, do you know what? My guilty little snack, a chocolate digestive. Actually, no, I take that back. Sheila's chocolate cake. Sheila's chocolate cake. Because you know what? When it goes well, you have chocolate cake. When it goes bad. Oh, you know what? That's true. I used to have Nutella out of the jar. Insane. But nothing can beat Sheila's chocolate cake. When it goes well, you have chocolate cake. When it goes bad, like Wellington, I just ate loads of chocolate cake and it just helped me mentally get through it. It's the only way.
Someone's, Helena, that's who it is. Do you plan on vaulting again later in life?
Do you know what? My best friends, apart from Mia, of course, Millie and Evie, can't forget about Mia, Millie and Evie, they still do the vaulting to a really, really high level. And I just know if I really wanted to pop on, they'd let me go. So I haven't really, my heart's still in the sport. I still follow all their results and stuff. I don't think I'd ever really compete it again because I'm so busy with the dressage. But I know if I wanted to call up Millie and Evie, they'd let me have a go. And I also think we should film a YouTube video. I think it'd be really good.
I think that'd be so
fun. Have
a go. Looney Luna has asked, controversial, who is the best trainer you've ever had? Careful with your answer.
Oh, dearie me. See, Carl Hester. Like, I'm sorry, Big G, Gareth Hughes. Like, just Carl's amazing because you go to Carl feeling like you've forgotten how to ride and you come away feeling like an Olympic dressage rider. He just has that way of feeling like you can actually do it. Obviously, I love my parents training me and stuff, but it's your parents, you know? It sounds really, really silly, but because they're my parents, sometimes I disagree, or it sounds really silly, but sometimes I just don't believe them, which sounds ridiculous. So it's also really nice to then go to Carl, who probably says the same thing, but in a different way, and it really makes sense.
Sophia has asked, how do you cope with the pressure?
I think for me, my parents don't put any pressure on me, but I put a lot of pressure on myself. I think definitely mentally, it's a massive game. You've got to, before I get on, I really make sure to get into my space. So like I'll go to the lorry a few hours before, you know, getting on. I take my time. My favourite thing is actually British Dressage set up a Spotify playlist and everyone put on their fave competition, like music they like to listen to, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. So I listen to that with my AirPods in, I take a quick nap because I get really tired. It sounds really silly, and what I do is I close my eyes and I think through my test, so I know, you know, how to set up every single movement, so I'm almost over prepared. So I know if I have a mistake, I just forget about that and I move on. I know how to ride the next move, and I think that helps me get less flustered in the arena, but it also helps me feel more prepared, which then helps my dealing with everything, really.
Coombs Dressage has asked, what brand is your saddle?
Custom saddles, and I love it because it's got my RH initials on the back. Best saddle ever. I think I worked it out the other day, I've competed up to 5 horses in that saddle and I've only had it like a few months. It is unbelievable. I love it.
Kate has asked, is it your last year on juniors?
It is, unfortunately. I'm going to really, really miss it. I'm now 17 years old. I've been doing juniors since I was 13. It has been such a long journey, and I'm going to really miss it. I have a lot of memories.
Iris has asked, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years time, I'm going to be like mid-20s. That's quite scary to think about, actually. I think I really want to pursue like my dressage career. Whether or not I decide to go to uni, I don't know. We'll see. I might still be in education, I might not be. I really want to carry on my teaching, my riding, working on the yard, being around the horses and really starting my career, you know. I just want to keep going where I'm going. I love it. I love life at the minute. It's great.
Amelia's asked, how often do you have lessons?
So with my dad travelling a lot at the minute for teaching and stuff, I aim to try and have a lesson a week from him. So for example, yesterday I had 3 lessons with him in the morning on a Sunday, his day off. My bad, Dad. But I tried to have a lesson with him once a week on all my horses just to help me, you know, see where I'm going. Sometimes I get a bit stuck on my own, but I think we go to Carl's at the minute, it's been like every 2 weeks. I mean, we practically live there at this point, but we at least go once a month for a little like checkup.
Amazing. Paul has asked, how do you deal with disappointments?
Oh, for those who've watched Wellington, yeah, you know, there's such highs and there's such lows to the sport. I think the biggest thing that my parents always told me, you know, especially at Wellington, I was around such professionals who have been through so many disappointments. It's unbelievable. Everyone goes through it. I think that's part of the journey. So I think for me, disappointments, I'm like, it's just a bump in the road. And I think about actually, like, this is going to be, I really want to do this as for my career, and I just know this can be a very, very small part of my journey, and I use it to learn. And it sounds really, really silly, but I like to think everything happens for a reason. Okay, yes, Cracker was absolutely awful. I wish that never happened. But when it comes to like mistakes in my tests and things like that and stuff, I like to think everything happens for a reason, because it's a way to learn. And you've just got to keep going. You know, that's how all the professionals do it. And yeah, I just keep that in mind. And we just like to forget. Like, I just try not to think about it, actually. If I find it really, really hard, I just ignore the situation and keep going with life.
Kate's horse journey has said, what shampoo do you usually use for your horse, and how do you get your horses so shiny and well conditioned?
So when it comes to the shiny part, we feed our horses on Saracens. That really, really helps the quality of the coat and stuff. But when it comes to getting them really, really clean, we use the Nash shampoo. On Lola, my old Palomino pony, for you guys who will remember, she was Palomino, and she had a perfect, really white, creamy tail, and that was so hard to keep clean. I can't even. So the NAF purple shampoo really helped. But also, it sounds really silly, but if you have a white tail, we used to stick tights on a tail, and it really, really helped. So plait it and put it in some tights after using the NAF purple shampoo. Works a treat.
Ali's asked, who is your heart horse?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. I literally have so many. I don't even know if I love them all. Do you know what? I've had so many different horses which have helped me through so many parts of my riding career so far. I literally couldn't pick. They've helped me in so many different ways, because obviously, you know, Lola took me to the different Europeans and stuff, and she was my first proper pony. You know, there was Barry, who was my first horse, and he was a winning machine. And then you've got a horse like Goldstrike, who took both my parents and me round Grand Prix, and like, there's just so many different horses. I mean, we've got Cracker, who's just at the start of his career, and how could you pick when you've had so many amazing horses? I'm so lucky. Like, I just think I couldn't pick.
India's asked, what's the best advice you could give a young dressage rider wanting to go all the way?
Again, I think it's really important to get the right trainer, because I think as well, like, when it comes like the mentoring and the motivation, I think you've got to have a really secure support team behind you, and that's going to really drive you along the way. I'm really lucky that I have, you know, my parents, Hughes Dressage and stuff, so I think the motivation really helps through all those lows. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get through, you know, all those lows in the sport without my parents and the whole team and stuff. So find a good trainer, and they're going to help guide you and pick the right route for you, so you don't get lost, you know?
Yeah. Definitely. And Harold has asked, why do you enjoy teaching?
Oh, I love it. The girls and guys who I teach, they are so sweet, and I love teaching them, because I love people who want to get better and who want to really, you know, work really hard, you know. And what I love the most is it's really refreshing to see how much they love their ponies and their horses and stuff, and you're like, this is what the sport's about, really. I really also love teaching the younger ones, showing them, seeing the start of the FEI route. I really like that, and I just love helping people, you know. I've learned so much off such amazing trainers, and I want to be able to pass on that knowledge to as many people as I can. And I just love helping people get through things and seeing people happy. You know, it really motivates me. And it sounds really silly, but actually, while teaching, I learn a lot as well, because I'm telling people to do the same things people tell me to do, you know? So it's really refreshing when I'm like telling people all about the accuracy and stuff, and it makes me think more when I'm riding as well, because I'm like, well, I'm telling people to do this, so why don't I do this? So yeah, I love them, they're so sweet.
So in true vlog style, we're going to end with some would you rather questions. So Ruby, would you rather ride a lazy horse with a heart of gold, or ride a spicy horse with tons of talent?
See, the thing is all my horses are really spicy. I think that's a typical dressage horse. And if they've got tons of talent, I think it's worth it if they have their quirks. So I'd say a spicy horse with tons of talent. It could be exciting. It could also be very scary, but it could be exciting.
The next one is, would you rather compete in the pouring rain or compete
on that.
or compete in 35-degree heat in a tailcoat?
Oh, do you know what? It depends what horse. With Cracker, we competed at Solihull once, and it was outside. And when I tell you it was sunny, 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 I went into my test and it started pouring. I've never seen it rain so much in my entire life. But you know what? He rose to the occasion. I think that's the best test I've ever done on him. So with him, pouring rain all day long. But then when it comes to my hot horses, I'd say 35-degree heat in a tailcoat. Because I like to think that helps them walk a bit better, helps calm them a bit. So yeah, I don't know, it depends what horse, but I'd probably choose 35-degree heat. It's, you know, about half an hour warming up in your test, you survive.
And the final one is, would you rather ride a test with no stirrups or ride a test without gloves?
Oh, you know what? I hate riding without gloves. I can't do it. I had a lesson with my dad yesterday, and obviously I rode 3 horses, and I have a hole in my gloves, and I have got the worst blister in the worst place possible, and it hurts so bad. So I actually don't think I could ride without gloves. I think I'd cry. What was the other option?
The stirrups.
And the stirrups. Do you know what though? Sometimes I just like to test myself, and some days I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna ride without stirrups. And I make all the people who I teach do it without stirrups, like ride without stirrups in their lessons. So I was like, you know what, bring it on. I'll
go with the stirrup.
Go for a bit of a challenge and go without stirrups.
Sounds like a plan.
So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, and make sure to comment any video suggestions that you have, and we'll see you guys in the next vlog. Love ya. Bye.
Bye.
Hello. Hello.